64. So it's just a little gravel parking lot. It's
Yeah.
was out for about 10 years ago. It's like looks like you're Washington DC, you know, lights and arches.
Yeah. And then you go over to Crazy Horse, where never used to be hardly anything there.
Yeah.
And that's got a lot going on there too.
Whatever.
And it's coming around.
Yeah, it's not a good year. Something like that. Surely virtually be here today.
I don't know for sure. I thought she was gonna try, but. You're too. Tough for what
Right over your name. Yeah.
You'll vote on that. Happy.
Thank you.
For the business.
You can vote on it and then ask.
Where's this Paul?
What is that? What?
Oh yeah, city's gonna do
He was making, you know, thinking about whatever site.
Yeah, I was here on
But
where
they-
at.
that's gonna be Mechanic Street.
Mechanic
and
Street.
Locust Road from the new part of
Little
water.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of county road that's going for us. And we'll be.
Working all week. See what's ones, they're gonna.
You were down at the shop all weekend?
No, it feels like it washed.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't know what process they do, so you don't get all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot wetter.
Oh, that's what I
Rain
did.
on Saturday, whatever foggy it means, I don't know.
But it's less, but it's.
Actually, for the whole weekend.
And I haven't ever specified much.
How would you ever guess the weather would have
That
gone off?
is smaller.
I know, except that rain Saturday weather
Yeah.
was
Um,
something to the better. Friday and Saturday kind of with my butt, I worked my tail off trying to get that.
right. So, I know we've done fog seal from W14 south and forward.
I wouldn't even want to guess how many people are
I had no doubt. It's not good. But,
And usually parades, it just kind of got,
you know,
down.
is that, so that was the issue there,
Just
the undercarriage breaking.
And that museum that was, they're working
That's
so hard to put together.
Yep.
That was,
Yeah.
everybody
That's
just
the
was
idea.
all.
So what you did there was worth
Have
it.
really pushing
Yeah,
fog
at
seal.
least it made you feel that way.
Have the exit there. Yeah, it's less dust, but the aggregate's something less robust as well, so. Just a small size, so.
I can suggest more. Bring in, I don't know if we go. Take them. Take them off.
Those are compliments of recycling.
Yeah, we get those from recycling.
We needed some for, can't remember what we're at. We said nickel box.
Yeah, that's, we end up with a bunch of those.
Good, thank you.
Tony's still finishing up the claims, so don't do the consent until he's got them down there.
Yeah, I might be a little premature.
Yeah. He was going to training in the last week.
How was vacation?
It's awesome.
Where'd you go?
Just into Missouri.
Just into Missouri.
Down in Missouri.
Lighthouse? I happen to like it there.
Hannibal and Branson, Lake of the Ozarks, Kansas City.
Those are not necessarily close to each other.
No, but compared to some of our usual family vacations. Yeah. Hannibal, here we went to the Grand Canyon and Las Vegas and then drove back, so.
Well,
Dollywood.
We did.
that you have a scale, you know, and this one is all one state.
Yeah.
It's neighboring.
Animals a little fun getaway. Animals a fun getaway. It's only.
I was on the bridge there, the Highway 36 bridge across the Mississippi River. Well, it doesn't go straight to Quincy. But the snooper truck that I was in, the hydraulics failed on the arm. And I dropped probably 10 feet before the snooper truck. That was a.
Free.
That was fun.
9:30, all those associated, please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All meeting to order with one absent. First item on the agenda this morning, Mike Kueny, our county engineer. All yours.
Just read off the report here. Winneshiek County is a finalist with Bldg grant, W14 South of Fort Atkinson was submitted a project. Winneshiek County was not really awarded package, but we're still in consideration for future selection. Railroad Flat Car Bridge study coordination is to occur this week. Just tying up which bridges we're going to do, and then we're looking at doing that in September. Subdivision data, nothing new this week. Project to cut into Quarry Hill Road across from Keenan. There's nothing new this week. Nessie Valley construction is ongoing. Rocking of the Nessie Valley campground and shaping of the land is ongoing.
Road is closed.
Is that why, are we closing that because of line of sight coming out of that driveway?
Yeah, when we moved the driveway over, it was already a little bit hairy for shorter cars. I just said, while we've got the equipment there, we might as well knock that road down and see the line of sight works, and also allows people to pull out with plenty of time. So
It's today and tomorrow, that's close.
that is, hopefully that's it. Yes.
So it was on the radio.
Yes.
I got
yes.
I got a call from the nearby property owner this morning, early.
So, yeah, I think we put it on Facebook, and then I think we called in the radio. So
It was on the radio.
It was on the radio.
you were less diligent on the Bridge 67, and I apologize. So, Nessie Valley, yeah, the campground is, we're looking at optimistically 2 weeks being done. So,
Do we have all the rock in already?
it's, the road is rocked. What we have left is some Class A, and then we have to rock some of the pull through, campsites in the middle of the site. So. The W20 culvert installation north of A18, is complete. Bridge 67 is closed. We have been slowed on this project due to the repairs to our excavator. Bridge 393 has been replanked, and the 200th Avenue repair and 14 culverts are likely to follow that. DOT bridge engineers visit on July 14th. The meeting went well and the county is in compliance. The bridge inspector will update and sends. In coordination with the DOT for direction of that meeting, there are a few tests that remain on that. I will be doing some field work this week to fulfill those requests. FEMA Cat A is being held up on the FEMA side, although last week we were notified that the funds have been obligated, so we should expect to receive a check from the federal side at any point in time this week. The Durapatcher completed Village Road and W20 and is moving on to W40 as of this week. So update. River City was a little bitter on the B32 patching project. They will be patching there, and then on W20, there is optimism that they will start work this week at the end of the week. Again, that's optimistic as well.
Is that Odyssey gonna follow it right up?
Yeah, that's the reason we're waiting on the Odyssey so that we can get good patches, good shoulder on and hold that shoulder in around that bend. Bridge 307 is shaping up to be led in December of 2026. NEPA clearance has been completed and we are working on the right-of-way acquisition. Bridge 208E will begin construction shortly. Brennan's has been backed up by the rainy weather. Further delays as of last week were due to the asbestos reporting. And that's something that the Brennan's needs to get. This was a dot the i's, cross the t's kind of a thing. And for some reason, the county doesn't have record of any asbestos testing on that. So we are working with the DNR to get that pushed through ASAP.
Will we get that done then this year?
I think we'll get started. I would imagine that they're going to be mobilizing this week is the goal
We're
here.
gonna get it all finished this fall.
I would imagine so. Yes. Bridge 126 NEPA clearances have been completed and will likely be let in December as well. And then once we are now also working on the right of way that needs to be acquired.
That one is where?
North of Highlandville. Frankville Road letting will likely follow Bridge 126. The estimated cost has been reduced from 3.5 to 2.9 million. I'm getting the most up-to-date cost estimate is about 2.7 mil. Fine grant for Winneshiek County signs are being put up. We are very close to being finished with those, and I'll file the report so that we can get reimbursed for those signs. The last of the 4 trucks from Don's has arrived. They're being decaled and will be in the fleet shortly. The annual report has been submitted to the DOT. That has not been reviewed and so it has not been approved yet. Parmesan will host a meeting on August 21st to make a no-go decision to begin stabilizing Town Line Road and Whitetail Road, likely to begin on August 26th. I'm forgetting the time on that August 21st. It's a Zoom meeting of some sort. So if anyone is interested with the board, let me know. And then
Skip the whole
Old boy.
Yeah.
yes, I have information on that. So we are looking at purchasing a lowboy to replace our current one. Our existing one, is just, and it's old and constantly needs, maintenance done to it to get working efficiently. So, this was put forward to me by the, superintendent and by the shop foreman as the needed item. And I have the specifications right here. If you are interested in that purchase, we have a couple of things that we need to work out with the Ziegler's on
Is that
that.
brand new?
It'll be brand new, yes.
What's the cost estimate on
113,000.
Get just one bid or?
We were shopping around and for what we wanted. This was already in stock and at a price point that we liked, relative to what else was in stock at the time. As we looked at this in, I want to say May or June, I wasn't ready to pull the trigger with the funds. That lowboy that was in stock has been sold, and they're looking at using the same price for this one. Now that it's in stock somewhere else, and I'm gonna have a meeting with Ziegler's this afternoon on it. So
that? The old one trade or sell it off?
we are looking at perhaps getting a new semi truck and selling the lowboy and semi together, so that we can generate purchase in both of them. So we're gonna hold the existing one until we get our arms wrapped around what the semi is gonna cost us, and then we'll have two lowboys for, hopefully no more than 6 months or 8 months is the idea. So
Not be brand new semi brand.
that is, we're not looking at a brand new semi necessarily. That we will be comparing to a brand new semi, but that's less of a concern than the wear and tear that our lowboy gets. So.
Did you put this for bids?
No, it has not been put out for bid. So this purchase, again, we looked at what was in stock and what the prices were, and this was, I have to go back a couple months in my memory here, but there was $90,000 one that didn't quite have the load rating that this has. This is, and I'm not the fleet kind of guy, so this had all the things that we wanted on it, and it was at a price point that was comparable to some other trailers that were less of a less good trailer, is my recollection of how that conversation went a couple months ago. So we inquired again most recently, and they have one, and we're looking at bringing this in and then paying for it in October.
What did we get on the other trucks that we sold at auction?
We got on the tandem, we sold one tandem and then 3 Oshkoshes, and the Oshkoshes were for 4,000 to 6,000 a piece. And then the truck that had the built-in sander on it, we got 15,000, and we are happy with all the prices on those pieces of equipment. So.
What is our policy at, put equipment out for bids, or how is that? So we don't.
There is a threshold that's required, but I don't remember the number. You'd have to talk to Andy. It depends on what type of.
Okay, so
Ask Andy if this needs to go to a bid.
Okay.
It may be that we have to see if there's anyone else. who
Sells
wants
that,
it.
puts the bid in. Dollar.
Yeah, and it's getting close to that. I think, the 110,000 is, something that I feel comfortable with.
I was thinking it's probably 150 or 200,000, but I don't remember the
Okay.
number. And it's
I'll verify
different-
with Andy.
And different types of needs have different
Different
numbers,
thresholds.
different thresholds. Buildings versus equipment versus
Yeah.
roads.
Okay.
I mean, those all have
Have to be
different
okay
numbers.
before, the
Okay,
bids have to be brought to us, okay, before they come.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I was thinking trailer and maintainers and everything else that I've come to the board before, but yes, I will get on that as soon as the meeting's over with. So. Where was I? The Parmesan.
Finish that. I think you're going into the wind damage.
Oh, and then, yeah, we had a wind event, which I didn't even feel at my house, but plenty of people in the county knocked over trees.
West or.
There was power lines down on River Road,
Oh,
so.
Really?
Uh,
Well, most of that storm seemed to go south and east. Up past, I know we got rain, but no wind. Still,
Hesper
that's a split.
One went to the north or whatever.
Hesper was probably is where I understand that most of our efforts are being, but there was several like on Scenic River and Wagon Road had some damage as well. It has been recently. I think we talked about that. So, yeah, it has been hit recently. So. With that is the report, as it is, and I will send out an email as soon as I hear back from Andy regarding the need for, getting bids.
Was there something with Bridge 126 you needed action on, or we're waiting on that?
There's nothing that,
Okay, because that was added to the agenda, because some of you
oh,
thought that
Bridge 126, yes, that was the, that's that it's the contract that, for the winning. It would, I'll have to, can I see that? Sorry. This is the contract that that the board is gonna work with the, state on, and it needs to be signed by the board that you approve.
contract with the DOT.
Yes.
Bridge 126.
Correct. Yes.
Do we need to take action?
Yeah.
Move to accept the contract from DOT.
Second. The motion is second to accept the contract with DOT Bridge 126. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Milk Elmer Road, Railroad Crossing. What do you got on?
What do I got on? I haven't heard anything about it. What I know from, was it 2 weeks ago? It was the railroad company was supposed to do some maintenance on it. And, they asked us to close the roads down for them, and we said we can close them down, and they wanted us to pay for the pavement to repair that transition piece there, that crossing. I declined, saying that was their responsibility to do, that is their responsibility to do. That is,
Something has to be done. It's worse now than it was before.
is it, I have not driven it since enclosed.
I have heard this from.
Okay, I have not driven it since the repair, so I can make
I
it,
haven't either, but
so I can go look at that and try to exercise the Department of Transportation, but there's the railroad companies, and then there's God is the statement that people make about railroad companies, so that's the efforts that I have to fight through on that.
Well, maybe a concerned citizen could take a loss.
So I'll have to look at that, and maybe get some pictures. I have a reason to be in the southeast part anyway, so on the way I can do that.
Because, we know we can't fix the roads, so you should probably.
Yeah.
Do everything you can to at least fix the road.
Yeah.
Elmer had one of their railroad crossings right there west of Quick Star. They just had to step in and take it by their own. They were paving elsewhere, so they dropped in 18 tons of asphalt to patch it themselves because they couldn't get any action on our railroad.
Yeah, I would, before I would do anything, I would talk to the board about what it is I see, but it was my understanding that they were going to repair it and not replace the pavement on that crossing. And I said,
Can I interrupt, please?
I'm not paying for it without direction. And they said, okay, and we got to get that. So
Someone made a comment.
Can I interrupt, please? You hear me?
Yeah,
yes,
Okay, I'm the city clerk in Fort Atkinson, and we denied paying for that asphalt also, but the railroad came in and did it on Friday, so be patient. I think they're gonna come and do it for you too.
Thank you, Michelle.
good to know. Thank you.
Okay,
He's the city clerk for Fort.
Yeah, the railroad crossed us 4 crossings in Action, and that was supposed to be done a month ago.
Yeah.
So.
yeah, I mean, it's a pretty interesting conversation whenever they call. It's,
Caution celebrated there with the railroad.
Yeah.
That's,
We have 2 good ones. Others are very fortunate. You have anything else for us, Nick?
I have nothing else for you as of this week. If you have anything for me, you can email me or stop by my office.
Yeah.
Love to have you.
Next up, we have a few miscellaneous claims. First of which is to accept, file, and publish the county treasurer semi.
It's very interesting. I emailed this out ahead of time. It's published the treasurer's report semi-annually. I did email the annual report to you as well, so you can see the totals. It is required to publish it.
Make a motion to accept and file, publish the county treasurer's semi-annual report.
I'll second that. Motion and second to accept, file, and publish the county treasurer's semi-annual report. Is there any further discussion? If none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next, discuss act on options for setting a public hearing on the sale of property of DHS.
I guess I put that on there again. I think we should just set a public hearing if we have one bid. There seems to be no interest. I mean, we gotta do something pretty soon, otherwise we may not have any bids.
Well, or we push it off till next year. I'm not afraid to hold it. if we
No,
have to.
no.
Well, we've got other county properties we are not in a big rush to get rid of.
I would be a little worried on the budget side because we anticipated the
Sale of it to take care of
our payment to Spectrum, which we already made, and so we're now and needing the 250,000 at least.
Yeah.
Make that payment, otherwise we've got to come up with that someplace else.
I think we should also look at that other piece of property over there that we left off of after our sale of the property in Freeport, putting it up, making it available for bid. It's sitting there of no use and no future anticipated use.
What's a possibility to go back to the old DHS building. Has there been anything new on it? In 2 weeks?
I haven't heard any update from Stephanie Fromm. We can put her, and Mark was gone, so we can put her on next week's agenda and get an update.
We gotta address it pretty soon, otherwise we're just kicking the can down the road. I mean, it's been out there since May 1st. Nothing, there's just nothing going on. We have to address something there pretty soon, get something going on. I'm not for hanging on to it. We're not. I'd say put her on, and I mean, that'll be 3 weeks from when there ain't nobody even nibbling at it.
Let's put the same item on the agenda for next week, and then we'll see.
And I'll see if Stephanie wants to give you, do you want her, I don't know, her availability, either she can be here or she can update it.
Just update.
Send us an email.
Yeah, I'll get this sent out.
We'll take a couple minutes and just go through the.
On these utilities, is this is our CHP. What is,
Those are the ones we split based on the percentage of
So
floor
it's basically
space.
4193 is. the total.
okay, 4193 is the total bill,
Yeah.
and
And
we
so we
split off.
split it because we submit this to
the
these other
state.
counties in the
Yes.
state.
Right.
Yeah.
Wondering about. This is the split.
That was, the approved percentage split that the DHS or HHS. So we
Down
split
to the hundredth, right?
Yep,
29 point.
it's something like that. They didn't like it when I tried around it. Yeah.
30, they went up to do it.
We could find a few more fees.
I think the sheriff and they buy copier paper. Does the county buy that in bulk, or does every department just order their own?
We do in the court here, so it gets delivered here. But they probably don't want to be coming up here to get it when they need it, but they maybe have some kind of bulk supply. I don't know what they do. We get our copier paper through Shilling, which provides like our toilet paper and paper towel and all that paper. We get it in bulk for the courthouse itself. And they maybe do something similar there. I don't know what their procedure is.
What else is on the consent agenda?
Minutes, the claims, and the reporter's monthly report.
You said going over something.
We had to run power, recycling had to run power out to that, the shed out front. We had some solar panels up there that were totally shot for a little bit, because we had cameras out there to be able to monitor the abuse of the recycling bins, let's say.
Oh,
They were also the night lights
Night lights for that area.
that would come on.
So we ran from the main power in the building out and then bored under and carried power over into that other building. I don't know why it wasn't done originally.
It wasn't that much additional to actually run the fire. Because the equipment we had from solar was,
It was shot.
it'll be nice to have it out there.
Anyone want to take action on the consent agenda?
For the consent agenda,
And I'll second that.
Motion is second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
glad to see that bill from Letterworks in there for recycling. That's the new decals that go on the bins, so we get better. What better control over what gets dumped into the bins and how they're taken care of.
That's contamination.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to start or clean one there.
I think I'll start mine.
Next item on the agenda, a public hearing for the A&A Cleaning rezoning request. What do you got, Tony?
A&A Cleaning rezone from M2 industrial to C1 highway commercial. Planning and zoning held a public hearing on it back in July 8th, I believe, recommended approval 5-0. Kate Kern is here representing it. You got questions from?
I motion to open public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to open the public hearing for the A&A Cleaning zoning request. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is now open. How many comments?
Close public hearing, if nothing further.
Is there anyone online with any comments? Not, we have a motion. Is there
Second.
a motion and a second to close the public hearing? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I move to accept the,
Hold the first reading.
hold the first reading.
Here a second.
I'll back that.
We have a motion and a second to open
Accept.
the first reading. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All in favor? Ordinance amending the county zoning ordinance to change the zoning classification from M2 General Industrial District to C1 Highway Commercial District for the herein described property. Whereas a request for amendment to the zoning ordinance of Winneshiek County was submitted to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Said request having been acted upon by the Planning and Zoning Commission following a public hearing. And whereas the request for amendment of the zoning ordinance pertains to the following described real estate. Lots 9 and 2 of 10 in Freeport Industrial Park, first edition, and the south 33 feet of vacated 171st Avenue adjacent to lot 9. From the southwest quarter of section 13 of township 98 north, range 8 west of the 5th PM, Winneshiek County, Iowa. Whereas the said zoning request requested that the property be rezoned from M2 General Industrial District to C1 Highway Commercial District. And whereas a notice of the time and place of a public hearing on said request was published pursuant to law. And whereas a public hearing as required has been conducted by the Winneshiek County Board of Supervisors. Whereas the Winneshiek County Board of Supervisors has considered the Winneshiek County Comprehensive Plan in their review of the applicant's request and does find that the request is consistent with the policies and goals set out in the Winneshiek County Comprehensive Plan. And now therefore be it resolved by the Winneshiek County Board of Supervisors that the zoning classification as to the following described real estate, lots 9 and 2 of 10 in Freeport Industrial Park, first edition, on the south 33 feet of vacated 171st Avenue, adjacent to lot 9, the southwest quarter of section 13 of Chip 98, North Range 8, west of the 5th PM, Winneshiek County, Iowa. Is hereby changed from M2 General Industrial District to C1 Highway Commercial District. And the zoning map of Winneshiek County, Iowa will be modified to reflect this change. Fewer, all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with this zoning ordinance or inconsistent with the provisions of this ordinance are hereby repealed to the extent necessary to give this ordinance full force and effect. Servability clause. And if any section, part, or provision of this ordinance shall be adjudged invalid or unconstitutional, such adjunction shall not affect the validity of the ordinance as a whole, or any section, provision, or part thereof not adjudged invalid or unconstitutional. Effective date. This ordinance shall be in force and effect after its passage and publication as provided by law.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to waive the second and third readings. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Motion to adopt the ordinance. I move to adopt the ordinance.
Second.
Okay. You have it. The motion is second to adopt the zoning ordinance. All those on, that's a resolution. Aye.
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Aye also. Motion passes.
Thank you, sir. It's usually 3 signatures, if you get it 3 times, 1 on the ordinance, 1 on the map,
Oh, yeah,
and then 1 on the P&Z report.
I'm slacking. Any committee reports?
County Social Services met last week, basically just paying bills and following up. I did inquire again about what happens counties total money when it's all said and done, and it'll be absorbed by the new entity that's large district or region, call it, I guess. So we're done. But this will meet every month until the first of the year. And then they did advise dissolution of that 2080, and I don't know if Andy's worked on that yet or not, but because they're potentially could go on afterwards for things that
We got landfill tonight at 5. Is everybody gonna?
That's your, yeah.
Yep. You just wonder if everybody's coming. Might be coming short.
The Iowa Workforce Development Board met last week unanimously agreed not to merge when everything was sorted out with the 3 district merges, it was not advantageous to us to do so. And so they've set it aside for a year to look at it a year down the road to see if things change. But the way that it was shaking out, we would lose too much in the process of our control. The other 2 districts that we did not want to go to. The decision unanimously was made to not merge at this point in time, but to evaluate later.
Initially, we thought it would be a good thing.
Initially, we thought it was a good thing for administrative cost saving and the rest of that. But in the way that we were getting overpowered, we would lose too much of our own aspect, our own local control over it. So they decided not to do so. So there's in our district, there's 20 counties, and they unanimously agreed. There was the fourth region that had considered joining, also decided not to join. That's going to be where it stands for now. There's another meeting, a follow-up meeting this Thursday. And then Historic met here Saturday. They're having an upcoming, there'll be a gathering in St. Lucas on September 17th. That will be representatives from the Ho-Chunk Indians will be there to speak. There is a tour of old sites of theirs. There'll be some things relating to the museum, state museum there at Fort. It'll be included. It's an event from 10 until about 3. There's a $20 charge, including lunch for anyone who wants to go on. Next week, brochures that we can pass out. They'll have a pretty good, it's kind of a statewide reach, so there should be a fairly good turnout of people. They're working together with the German Museum in St. Lucas together on that. And so it should be like other conferences that our historic has put on in the past, should be a good event.
That speaker from the Ho-Chunk is going to speak at it.
Yeah. Steve Johnson found out that he needed a new font.
Oh, yes.
Well, the commission met in the driveway, and as soon as I got here with the fob, we could get in the building.
We'll have a health meeting on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to see that the next meeting of the Board of Health has, they hold here in the annex so that it can be attended better. And I'd like to see it to where it's also could be on Zoom. I'd like to see that on a go forward basis. That they meet here. Our other committees, our planning and zoning meets here, and they're also on Zoom. Our Board of Adjustment meets here. Landfill meeting is here. Lots of different meetings occur in this room. So having it off down there is, especially with all of the current things that we're not getting answers to, I believe that we should make a direction to the Board of Health that they begin to meet in the annex so that it can be more publicly available.
Are there her meetings available on Zoom? Because legally they have to be.
There is I don't believe there's an electronic option for their meetings. Is there, Mark?
No, never.
Yeah, that's part of
Yeah, so I think
that training. So
I think we need to make that a policy that where they're meeting here.
How about conservation? Do they meet here?
yes,
Yeah.
So that seems to be the only outlier of any major board.
I'm gonna be gone. I'll be down there. My grandkids show at State Fair, so Dan's gonna.
So you're gonna be there as the alternate.
Gonna kill me.
What time is that?
3:30
3:30 on
Wednesday.
Wednesday, and that's a public health.
Yeah,
So will we then there on out, talk to them about meeting?
I think we should.
I think it should be from.
So I think you can't, on policy decision, can't we just simply make that a policy, Ben?
Well, I think they can meet where they want, but if they don't have the electronic meetings available there, then they could just as well use this spot. But I don't think you can force them to, because it's their
What
board.
room do they have? Board?
on the,
That's Solarium.
that's where
Out
the
then.
south end there, it ain't. With this table in there.
Fill it up.
Yeah,
So it should be in a larger.
yeah, you can only put,
We have conservation meeting tomorrow.
Kind of like the old board up there.
yes, yeah, they ain't even that big.
No, that's smaller.
Yeah. 10 people would be the max.
And the last time Krista met with you, she had indicated that that committee that was looking into things was going to be reporting back to them Board of Health at this meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
So-
seen the.
So hopefully
nothing
then,
on it yet.
then she'll have something to come and report to you after that or
Is
whatever.
there any way she could have a meeting up here this week or
I don't know, I haven't,
can
yeah,
change the location?
she was on vacation, I don't know if she's
She's
back.
probably already got it posted for this
Yeah.
week, I'm guessing.
But can she make a change with 24-hour notice?
She could,
I haven't seen it, it hasn't been posted yet.
okay.
I think it would be good if we found out if it was available to be put, even make a 24-hour change and hold it here.
Yeah. Usually don't get to Tuesday.
You want to contact her, or so how do we, you want to contact her, Ben, or how do we do this?
I can, but I don't have any authority to tell her she has to, so. I mean, I can say that the board
Well,
has.
I
can send her a message.
I mean, I think it'd be good if it was, I'd like to attend it, hear what that committee came up with, I guess.
It's easier for anyone to attend. All right, next item on the agenda, John Kraus, County Conservation and. Holy.
We do have another John that may have input too.
So yeah, for those who haven't met me, my name's John. I've been in natural resources and part of maintenance for the conservation.
Come up here.
Yeah.
You get your own chair.
Sure, all right. Yeah, like I was saying,
This does go back to when we talked about taking out the war memorial here and doing some landscaping, and looking at putting together a landscape plan. But not having to spend money. John submitted something and now this grant became available, so.
but yeah, like Mr. Faldet said, we've been kind of a pet project. We've been interested in planting trees, making some sort of improvement to the courthouse square, and this grant opportunity, we've used it with the county park some, and it seemed like a good fit. We've reached out to 5th grade teacher at Decorah Middle School. So they're on board. You know, the Treat for Kids is the title, right? You gotta have kids involved. So they're gonna, if we were successful with this grant, they'd help plant the trees. And Mark and I have looked at the grounds a couple times now and refined our plan. I don't know that this is by any means our final draft, but it's what we've come up with to this point. Aerial map.
The grant is due 1st of September, isn't it, or the end of this month?
End of this month.
Yeah.
It would be for up, I mean, you know, and all the fine print there on the grant overview. It is for up to $2,500. There are no matching funds required from the county, so it's just straight from the Iowa DNR to Winneshiek County. So hoping to purchase trees from a local garden center and send in some business their way as part of this. Seems like a good opportunity that way. We don't, yeah, so I want to highlight, we're not here to ask you folks for money or even really a formal resolution, just want to loop you in, collect input and provide an overview of the project.
You got any input on this, John? I'd like to see it,
You did. Yeah,
They
they
did meet,
last week.
Yeah.
Talked about a few things and couple of things. I mean, potentially the trees are the big cost of this, and that's nice, they're getting covered. We may want to invest in some tree guards and or some of them need to be staked or need some
If we,
fence posts.
if we don't stake them and fence them, they will be part of the delicatessen
Yeah.
routine for the deer herd in Decorah.
So that probably would be our only expense on that. Watering will be important the first year. I know I'm on the city tree board and that's a big part of that success. So John has volunteered and I have volunteered to help water them for the first year at least to make sure they get a good bearing on that.
Not as a conservation employee, just on my way home, you know, whatever. Easy job.
Like this summer, we didn't have to water, like the city didn't have to water trees much because rain was adequate coming along, but last summer, it was a lot of water.
That's when I plant trees.
Yeah, John Halverson is a great resource as a grounds manager for all of the county properties. And he knows the areas where things don't grow and die in the past history and so forth. And all of that is valuable. So the deer problem and this particular places that his 20-year, 10-year up here is a valuable input because otherwise we may not have the same success.
We kind of went off of this current plan, like those red maples and things were planted by that American Legion plan that was done back in the 30s. And, so would this be the ideal plan if you're starting with a clean slate? No, even what's there, yeah. Looking in the future, what the damage there is to some of the trees, it's time to start repopulating some of it. Good.
We did lose, John committee update, we did lose the top out of one of the trees up front during some wind event here a couple weeks ago.
We did live being pretty good over here in this corner.
Northwest.
There's one of those red maples is down to one main branch left, I think.
Yeah, we got one that is subject to bad limb on it that we may lose, a big old tree up the front, John, is that correct?
Yeah.
There's no problem planting in the boulevard there.
He had checked with the city forester. They said that would be fine.
Okay.
Now, the concern there,
All myself, but
well, the concern there is we've got utilities in that, that are right in that boulevard. And so putting trees in there may be a risk. But isn't there, what's in that boulevard, John, that you recall?
There's fiber up now because there's
I heard that, I think they ran their gas line up through there. Telephone, I think.
correct,
That
yes.
must be-
So 811 is, you know, all of this could be totally changed after 811 gets called, right? And utilities get marked.
Do you want to plant, do you want to create a problem? Because what trees do is grow around them roots and,
Well, fiber's
Great
a
problem.
sealed tube. So
yeah, I know it is, but it's if you ever got a,
we were just going off of what the forester said would be fine. So the city forester.
oh, okay, I don't care, yeah, it doesn't have to be, but yeah.
Yeah,
down
we
the
could,
road, if you
we
got-
could
We don't want to
potentially-
make future
don't wanna
problems.
create-
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, you don't want to create problems.
Yeah,
Especially
if there are-
there's a gas line, there's no flexibility.
there's in the potential, I suppose we could go with a lower growing tree like we do under power lines, which have a shallower root system.
Yeah.
Kind of like the
Crab
crab
apples.
apples.
Yeah.
Another one. Recommendation from a tree expert in town here said something that's native like a hawthorn tree or something would be low growing. Good tree for there too.
I'd like you to see, maybe consider that where we remove the stairs over here and we've got some dirt retaining issues, we may want to consider dropping one thing in there that would help stabilize that side and this corner right back over here.
We thought about there and then maybe on the far corners, but
You have the
jailhouse
I
too.
think those are the crab apples that have a little trouble telling the difference between the purple and pink.
Right,
Now,
yeah.
maybe you have a third one over around on this corner. that-
Yeah, I think you could.
What, Steve was asking.
Yeah,
We're showing concrete and part of that doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so we took it out.
Um, and those two ash trees, we're treating those that are kind of coming up to what is now the entrance. Thought about getting something started further out because those trees probably aren't. Well,
Yeah, the ones that,
given the ash water.
as John would reiterate, the ones that we're not treating over here on the side of the parking lot are doing fine.
Fine.
Right.
They have their own natural immunity. It seems that natural immunity has a bearing.
That's short ones. Yeah. But it's interesting, an ash tree in a quick course of a month. Yeah, start flaking the water off pretty soon. So, yeah. So we have a couple of weeks, I guess, week and a half, 2 weeks probably to make modifications if we need to this. We thought about maybe talking to Drew Stevenson. I know you work with him on the trees here. The only other thought would be, do we want to try to get something going where that maple is doomed that could hopefully fill in the middle of that cluster.
Any comments, John?
Well, I guess, I would disagree with putting anything in that bulwark, it's just not wide enough for anything, But all depends on your grant money, if you don't get the grant money, then
Then we won't. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think we can agree on that.
Instead of
This
maybe in the
should be
boulevard.
grant funded.
Pull them up on the property above and take the one over there by the entrance to the parking lot and use it to replace the one back by the jail that we'd like to add perhaps.
Grant does have a limitation, you can only have 3 trees of a species, so.
Oh.
That's why there's a variety of trees planted here.
Good.
because you can only have up to
Yeah,
3.
if you love oaks, you can't even do 4 oaks, just for free.
We'd love to have had like pine trees because they're native to the area, but they would just be salad bar over there, so.
Yes.
My only concern is the boulevard.
Yeah, I would,
Yeah.
I would just be staying away from the utilities.
Sure.
Just creating problems. we don't
Potential.
need them.
You need to take action to apply for a grant.
I think they can, I don't know, they need action, I don't know what
Well, we can,
empower them to proceed with the
Yeah,
grant application.
I would say,
a
yeah,
statement of support to go into the grant would that be appropriate?
You could add it as an attachment. It's not an expectation for this grant, but
Okay.
of course, yeah. Of course, whoever controls the land where you're planting trees, you have to have permission, so that it seems obvious to include that sort of thing.
Yes, I propose that we put a resolution of support for this attempt for beautification of our courthouse setting.
And that involving young people and planting into it.
I think that's good. And I'm sure that Mr. Faldet will be willing to write that and will agree to.
Yeah. I agreed to put my name on the grant application, so.
You want today to just proceed with the grant application motion and.
Yeah.
And you can get the letter for another day.
Still moving.
Second.
A motion second to proceed ahead with the grant application for trees for kids. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, folks, for your time.
Thank you for your
Thank
effort.
you.
Do you have anything else?
Thanks, John. Motion to adjourn.
well, just hold one thing, maybe we should put on one of these weeks, discuss with tenants at, community service building, just chat with them.
Get everybody around the
Rent
table.
or whatever.
rent review.
Yeah.
We have a motion for adjournment. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second for adjournment. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Yeah, but if 24 hours notice on meeting change, all that, wouldn't it?
Rent review, do you want all three tenants or do you?
I mean, they could just be the spectrum. Well, food safety,
They're already
yeah, spectrum and.
Spectrum and,
That's a
Choice Ground.
It's towards the rent, one quarter of the rent of the food pantry.
They had that. They can get like stamps. $2,000.
Yep, they took care of that. Yep, that's all done. We have a deed to the property.
Stamp fees.
They,
How big celebration,
man? So,
Awesome.
Good crowds.
so we gave them the $257,500.
Crown Club, we didn't charge anything to
They
get
think
them.
stamps.
Any of the bus. That was there.
The owner.
And the pork was good.
Glad you like it. You know, I went to the Fayette County Fair and then Farm Bureau was agent over there with pork burgers and chips or. It was great. Most crowds of people.
There's about 200 people waiting in line.
If we could solve that plan. Here,
And
we're gonna come like.
That was
That $250,000
expensive weekend.
because we've already spent it and
Very
we
well.
haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's see
Somebody
the.
make us a list of.
Well,
Everybody tonight, I guess.
Now, we actually have kind of have a list, only the problem is that a lot of those properties that we throw up as county owned, going up because there's nobody owner of record. And so do we really own it or not?
Yeah,
Yeah, little like old roads or old right of ways, I mean, do we really own it or not? I don't know.
You know the amount, there is no amount on it.
Cleanup thing.
Yeah.
It
It is, John Lukey put together a list of all the projects we've already spent in their free time, which
What is
going through them and trying to.
That's
research them.
110, I'm up in 2025, fiscal.
But here is make sure there's nobody else that owns the property.
So
At some claim.
that's why I just, I went in, I was like, I don't. Well, I didn't want to state that publicly.
City.
Yeah, yeah.
We need to correct on that.
That's a small issue for.
For the south wind, yeah, for the school. You know, there isn't any.
So that's, those are the two, and then they're not as robust as the one that we're looking at here. There's, Darren reminded me that there's a 20,000.
And Ridgeway's having quite an issue because their
20,000
mayor quit, and now one of the council people
for that specific one.
quit, yeah. So it's a kind of a mess over there, so we're hoping that they can find someone
So,
to fill in between now and November, because otherwise they have to have a special election.
They're not apples for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's,
Yeah.
that's why we.
That's probably a special meeting, that their special meeting to try to get a mayor appointed.
It's their regular. And I always usually try to
The
attend.
training is like.
I'll bring that up.
Yeah, because it would be kind of silly to have to hold a special election
Yeah,
in
because what would be,
October.
what would be the cost of a special
I'm
election?
sure it'll cost them a couple $1,000, yeah.
That's what I need to be.
Yeah.
Motivated with
Yeah.
money.
yeah.
I have an email.
It'll be between $2,000 and $3,000. Special
I have
election.
to find it. Files that are getting done right now, but.
Yeah,
I will
think you'll have all that.
If I have permission, I will act on your behalf.
okay, sounds good, yeah. And I've talked with the clerk a couple times,
Oh,
so
yeah.
she knows the situation, so,
Well, she's about ready to retire.
yes, exactly.
Because Jeff's retired
Mhm.
and you know the relationship.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it's a, oh, tough. We get,
And like I said, you'll have all this in an email.
getting people in these city councils and so forth, they spell out, it's just tough.
It is tough.
But yes, there isn't a lot of interest. Everybody's too busy.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully they can get something figured out.
What's that?
I said, you probably do.
Do I?
There are only 2 supervisors left, so you can end the meeting. Thank you.